Today we'll be discussing about the important financial news from 18th December to 23rd December. This video is going to be very important for you, so my request will be to please watch the video up to the end so that you will cover all the important news for this week and you don't have to go through the newspapers and you will save a lot of time for this. So let's get started. So now, first news is pension funds sizzles with a 16.94% one-year equity return on NPS monies. So the returns for the equity market has been very good this year, and this has been reflecting in the funds parked, NPS funds parked in equity portfolio also. The return has been very good compared to the 7% return on corporate bonds, 7.10% return in central government securities, and 8.2% in central and state government schemes. So my request will be from all of you that please go check which scheme your money are parked, because I know most of you are not logging into NPS accounts and you don't know how the fund is managed. Normally it is done automatically if you are not allocating yourself. So just go through, check the returns from the individual schemes and select the best for you. Next, SBI is slowing down on unsecured retail loans. Last month, the Reserve Bank of India, they had increased the risk weight on unsecured loans to 125% from 100% earlier. Now, unsecured loans include personal loans, consumer durable loans, and credit cards. So you can see that the effect of the new risk weightage is now evident from the steps taken by the banks now, and they are slowing down. And sometimes it is good to put brakes on something. You should not allow everything to go unattended and unchecked. So a very good step by RBI, and I think it will help the lenders on the long term, especially with the risk management. Now, next news. The government has granted one-time exception to LIC to achieve 25% minimum public shareholding in 10 years. So I have made a special video for you for this. Link I will put in the description box, as well as you can access it on the I button above. So let's move on. Number of GST returns filers up 65% to 11.3 million in 5 years. So the number of GST return filers have also increased, and the number of active taxpayers registered under the GST has also improved from 10.6 million to 14 million. So now these figures speaks volume about the amount of compliance. This has improved because government has taken a number of steps to improve the system, to crack down on the defaulters, and also they are taking a very serious step for the counterfeiting of invoices and fake GST claims. So the figures speaks for themselves, and this is a very welcome step by Finance Ministry. It will improve the revenue generation for the country. Now, India's total debt rises to rupees 205 lakh crores in September quarter. On this, the IMF also came up with a report that India's outstanding debt is increasing, and it should be a cause of concern. But the government, they differ from the IMF, and they said that the debt is very much under control, and there is nothing to be worried about it. In the next news, the SEBI proposes T+0 instantaneous settlement for equity cash segment. For this video also, I have already covered this topic, and the link I will be pasting in the description and the I button above. You can go and check that video from there. Moving on, the RBI has introduced card tokenization facility at bank level. So earlier the card tokenization was done at the merchant level. For the viewers who are not aware what is card tokenization, the SWIFT taken is a kind of 16-digit unique number. It is a combination of card, token requester, and the merchant, and this tokenization can be used for online transactions instead of putting your original credentials. And RBI had introduced it for enhancing the security, because many times the data of the credit card and debit card, they were leaking from these merchant sites, and they were getting sold. So RBI had introduced, now it has improved it a bit further. Now, instead of going and generating on each merchant site, you can generate it at the level of the bank itself. So that will also give an additional option to the cardholders. Now, the Central Goods and Services Tax Second Amendment Bill 2023 was passed by Rajya Sabha. This bill speaks about extending the upper age limit of GST Appellate Tribunal Chairman to 67 years from the existing 65 years, and allows advocates with 10 years of experience to be eligible to become a member. So it was passed by Rajya Sabha. The bill has fixed the minimum age for tribunal members to be 50 years. So this will increase the number of people available for getting selected, the number of candidates, it will be increasing. India leads global remittance charts with 125 billion in 2023. So that is a very encouraging news. This shows two things. First thing, our foreign reserves are getting richer. Second thing, it shows the amount of confidence the Indian diaspora is having in India, because they now see India as a developing country. They now see India as a safe country also to park their investments. So that is very good news. Thank you all the Indian diasporas out there. Moving on, now dual control of public sector banks by Finance Ministry and RBI is wrong. So Mr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia, who was the chairman of Planning Commission, so he has said that the maintenance of dual control, which means that the RBI does not have the same power to regulate a public sector bank as it does vis-a-vis a private sector bank, is fundamentally wrong. And up to a certain extent it is true, because sometimes even the RBI rulings or guidelines are superseded by the directions of the government, and that is giving kind of disadvantage to the public sector banks. Sometimes they have to wait for the clearance for something which RBI has directed from the Finance Ministry also. So this should be looked into. Now, IMF has reclassified India's de facto exchange rate regime to stabilized arrangement from floating. So while the de jure classification remains floating after an Article 4 review. So what is de facto and de jure? De jure is defined as the state of affairs that is true in fact, but it is not officially sanctioned. So unofficially, you can say this is de facto is unofficially, and de jure is the official position. So de facto has been changed to stabilize, which means that the RBI is doing a lot of manual intervention to stabilize rupees, and it is kind of a manipulation only. So unofficially they are saying that India is manipulating the foreign currencies and exchange rate, and officially they are saying it is not. But if this continues, they will change official position also. But the government has denied it, and they have contradicted to this position of IMF. Next, move on. Razor Pay, Cash Free receive final RBI nod to operate as payment aggregators. So what is a payment aggregator? A payment aggregator, also often referred to as payment facilitator or payment service provider, is a financial technology company that simplifies the process of accepting electronic payments for businesses. So they are kind of intermediaries who work as facilitators between banks and the merchants, and there will be two more entities, Razor Pay and Cash Free, operating now. Now, evergreening of stress loans, RBI tightens norms for lenders' investment in AIF units. So what is an AIF? AIF is a privately pooled investment vehicle which collects funds from investors for investing. It is in accordance with the defined investment policy for the benefit of its investors. So what the banks were doing, the banks were asking the AIFs to lend money to some stressed lenders, and there they have that liberty to get these loans paid in next 7 years, and in turn the banks were investing in the AIF. So it was kind of an indirect evergreening. And also when banks are investing and AIF has lent money to the stress company, sometimes they were given the priority charge on the recoveries from those stress assets. So RBI has asked, now if a company is having downstream investments either directly or indirectly in any AIF, and that AIF has lent money to any client of that bank, they have to within 30 days they have to liquidate them. Further, if lenders are not able to liquidate their investment within the time limit, they have to make 100% provision on such investment. So this is a very hard step. The RBI banks have represented to RBI also. RBI has agreed to look into it, but I think this has to be nipped in the bud, because if this trend continues, it can snowball into a major catastrophe, because because sometime if a bank fail and if the AIF, the banks, they all have exposure, and it is not able to resolve that in those 7 years of the time available, that both will fail. So it can affect both of them. So moving on. the share of agriculture in India's GDP declined to 15%. So in 1991 it was 35%. Now it has come down to 15%. There are two major reasons. The first major reason is the growth of service and manufacturing industry, and the second reason is the slow growth of agriculture sector. So government has to look into it to support agriculture. Now Ola Electric has filed DRHP with SEBI, first ever by an Indian EV firm. So for this I have covered in an exclusive video. The links will be available in the description and the I button above. You can go and check that video. So that was all, friends. I hope this will be helpful for you. My request, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video more and more to all your aspirants preparing for bank promotions or who are interested in share market updates, so that they will be saving a lot of time. And thank you so much for your time, and see you soon. Thank you.